start the recording?
Yes.
She will be running the PowerPoint. She wanted to manage that. So we thought we'll do something really different today. If you've attended some of our classes in the past, we have a little different style, but I'm going to try a little different today. Let's see if that works. Chali, let's start with some prayers. Did you start the recording? Make sure
Yes,
it's
recording.
Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापत्कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागण रघुनाथान्वितं समुद्रीवं सावधेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादां सागण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधा वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लम्घयते गिरिं यत्र पातं न वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Please settle down. We just had a thought. Here get recorded. थोड़ा कम जाएगी. Okay, so just to understand, sure. What we're doing here is this is Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, this is this whole 18 books. This is actually it's 12 books, but they are 12 cantos और 12 स्कंद 12 स्कंद हैं जो 18 किताबों में डिवाइडेड हैं. ठीक है, तो ये पूरी जो एक किताब है दिस इज श्रीमद् भागवतम. श्रीमद् भागवतम इज बेसिकली कृष्णा की लीलाएं, कृष्णा के नाम गुण और लीलाओं का व्याख्यान. इट इज डिस्क्राइबिंग द नेम फॉर्म क्वालिटीज एंड फास्टिंग्स ऑफ कृष्णा. And this is Bhagavad Gita. So I want everyone to understand the basic difference. This is Bhagavad Gita. This is what was spoken by Lord Krishna himself to Arjuna on the battlefield of Mahabharata, right? So this is a much smaller book. This is only 700 verses, whereas this book is much bigger. Srimad Bhagavatam is much bigger. Srimad Bhagavatam is not necessarily spoken by Krishna. It is spoken by his devotees about Krishna. So Bhagavatam is considered actually non-different from Krishna. तो ये भागवतम जो है ये भगवान का ग्रंथ अवतार है. ये बुक की फॉर्म में जब कृष्ण आते हैं तो उसको श्रीमद् भागवतम बोलते हैं. जैसे अगर पत्थर की या शिला की फॉर्म में आए तो शालिग्राम शिला होते हैं, या धाम की फॉर्म में आ सकते हैं कृष्णा, या फिर अगर पहाड़ की फॉर्म में आते हैं तो गोवर्धन होते हैं, प्लांट की फॉर्म में हो सकते हैं, रिवर्स की फॉर्म में हो सकते हैं, अगर व्यक्ति के रूप में आए तो गुरु होते हैं. तो इस तरीके से कृष्णा कई फॉर्म्स में आ सकते हैं. But this is called Granth Avatar of Krishna. This is the topmost scripture. So it is also called Granth Raj or the topmost Puran. So there are 18 Puranas. This is considered the topmost Puran. So हम लोग आज श्रीमद् भागवतम को अभी बात नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि हम थोड़ा पीछे जा रहे हैं. We dial back और हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं भगवद गीता के बारे में. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna 5,000 years back on the battlefield of Mahabharata to give Arjuna some guidance, right? Who all here have this book? Have Bhagavad Gita? Okay. Who have read this book? Okay. Okay. इतना मुझे ज़्यादा लोगों का दिख नहीं रहा है. So this will be helpful then to read it, to understand it today, right? It will be helpful. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is our most fundamental, like most basic and very essential literature, right? It is very important. बहुत सबसे basic शास्त्र का ज्ञान जो है वो भगवद गीता में है. Okay. You understand Hindi? No, you understand Hindi? Okay, wow, perfect. Who doesn't understand Hindi? Oh, okay. No, just speaking. Spoken Hindi, you understand. Who does not understand spoken Hindi? Okay. Forcibly raising her hand. So, okay, let me, so what should we do? Mix करते हैं, okay. Keep this.
आंटी को समझ में आएगा ना तो
Okay, so where is Nitin Prabhu? Prabhu, okay, since you requested this class, I'm going to aim my attention at you a lot, okay? So, you can be our front bencher.
उन्होंने क्या रिक्वेस्ट किया था वहाँ
कि भगवद गीता के बारे में थोड़ा practical application, how to use this knowledge in our life. So before we use this knowledge, let me tell you a little something about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita contains these principles or sutras, okay? It contains these, what you can say, formulas, okay? Or certain definitions, okay? If you have proper understanding of a definition or of a formula, of a principle, then you can apply it in your life, okay? Then you can solve any problem of your life if you know the principle. I'll give you an example. Let me see how we can do this. So some of you may enjoy doing math, some of you may not. But let's say if I give somebody this problem, some of you may know how to solve this. This is a formula, right? There is a formula to it, right? So you solve it like this: a squared plus b squared plus 2ab, right? This is how you solve this. Some of you may know that, right? So basically, this is a formula, and if you know this formula, then you can fit any number into it, right? You can fit 3 plus 4 square, or you can fit 5 plus 9 square, right? And you can come up with the correct answer. But unless you know this formula, unless you know this basic formula of a plus b whole square, you will not be able to figure out any other problem, right? So in order to solve the problems of your life, it's like, जैसे कि प्रभुजी was asking कि कुछ problem है घर में या relationships में या काम पे या people are bothering you, people are provoking you, yeah, you have difficult situation in your life, you're dealing with some illness, you're dealing with some reversal or negativity in life, right? Some adversity comes. So how do we, on a daily basis, apply Bhagavad Gita, right? So if you know these formulas, and there are many such formulas given in Bhagavad Gita, this is just one example. There are many formulas given. If you understand those formulas, the first thing is to understand the principle or the formula properly. Then, with the guidance of some spiritually advanced person, you try to apply that formula in your life, and it will work out perfect. Okay? Bhagavad Gita does demand that you spend some time learning these principles or these formulas and practice applying them on a daily basis. Okay? It's not that when the difficulty comes, when the problem comes, when somebody's provoking you, when somebody, let's say there are some gossips about you, some false accusations about you, let's say somebody unfairly, criticizes you. Let's say you lose your job. Let's say suddenly you're diagnosed with an illness. That day, when the problem happens, you will not be able to apply this principle unless you have practiced it in the normal days of your life. So the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita does demand that on a day-to-day basis, we try to apply this knowledge. We have to practice. Okay? We have to train ourselves. Just like in anything, you have to train yourself, right? You have to train yourself in this knowledge on a daily basis. Okay? So this is just some basic things I wanted to tell you. What I'm going to do today is, I'm going to show you how these principles of Bhagavad Gita are very different from what you have learned in the world. So those people that have not read Bhagavad Gita, you will see that the world has taught you many things which are actually lies, which are actually not true. Okay? And Bhagavad Gita, the pages of Bhagavad Gita contain what is called absolute truth. परम सत्य जो है वो भगवद गीता में दिया गया है. जो दुनिया आपको सिखा रही है, they have given you all these, various perspectives, your vision the world has given you. That is all a big fat lie. Okay, we are going to prove that, and that is why, since we are applying wrong formulas that the world has taught us in our life, we are having difficulties. We are having problems in our relationships. We are having problems at work. We are having problems in our dealings with people. We are having problems with our body. Okay. We are having problems with our mind, with so many things because we are applying the wrong formulas that are taught by the world. Okay. So let's understand what the correct formula, what Param Satya or absolute truth is. Then all these things you will be able to figure out in your life. Okay. So, what Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna does for Arjun is Krishna changes the vision of Arjun because Arjun, if you know the setting of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun was very confused about fighting this battle. He did not want to fight this battle because he was looking at this whole situation from a very short-term viewpoint. Okay, he was thinking कि मेरे relatives मर जाएंगे, इनके साथ मेरी इतनी loving memories हैं, मुझे अपने grandfather को, अपने teachers को मारना पड़ेगा. So he's thinking from a very short-term vision, very bodily vision, very materialistic point of view. Okay. Krishna will change his vision to 180 degrees and bring him to from a me-centered, from a bodily centered, from a self-centered vision to a selfless, to a service type of, to a spiritual vision. Okay, Krishna-centered vision. That is what we have to do. In the world, we are learning a lot of selfish, me-centered, materialistic or bodily conceptions. Those are the wrong formulas. Once you change your understanding 180 degree to a spiritual conception, a Krishna-centered understanding, that will be the right formula and that will help you fix your problems. Okay. So, I just had something here. You can on the screen. So this since we have Bhagavatam installation as the central program. This is something Arjun said, and you can read these. Arjun said in Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna. So, when Krishna left this world, Krishna disappeared, okay? The whole Yadu dynasty disappeared. So, Arjun was very fearful. He was very depressed. He was very morose. So, he said these things to Yudhishthira Maharaj. He said, today, when Krishna is gone, I'm thinking of those instructions that he gave me in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So, you can read those verses. He says, now I'm attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personality of Godhead Govinda because they're impregnated with instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. All circumstances in all time, all space, Bhagavad Gita is always relevant. Sometimes we think, or new people, modern people think this knowledge is not relevant for me. This knowledge is outdated. This is ancient. This was 5,000 years back. It will not help me today. This is absolute truth. This is not relative truth of this world, which changes with time. This is timeless, eternal truth that will always be applicable for all people of all religion, whatever gender, whatever caste, color, creed, whatever nation you are born in. It is not limited to any particular sect or subsect of people. So it will be relevant in all times, all places, to all people. Okay, so this is one thing to understand. It will never become outdated because this is eternal, timeless knowledge. So so Sud Goswami is describing this conversation between Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj. He says, thus being deeply absorbed in thinking about the instructions of Lord, which were imparted in the great intimacy of friendship, and in thinking of his lotus feet, Arjuna's mind became pacified and free from all material contamination. We have to do this on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we have to invoke Bhagavad Gita in our life. Every moment, actually, अगर आप seriously भगवद गीता को अपनी लाइफ पढ़ो और अप्लाई करो, आप देखोगे कि every moment of your life will present you an opportunity to apply Bhagavad Gita. If you really start observing your life, there will be, I have noticed this every moment, and I fail a lot. 90% of the time I'm failing every day, and I see that the life is demanding me. Bhagavad Gita is demanding me to apply it. Bhagavad Gita is asking me, I have taught you all this philosophy. Now you apply it in your life. So it's giving me all these opportunities on a daily basis to apply this knowledge. Life will demand that from you. That now you have this knowledge, you have this wisdom, this great philosophy given by Krishna. Now you apply it. Okay. So we have to apply it at every moment of life, actually. And you will see there will be plenty of opportunities to do that. So then Arjun's constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna rapidly increased his devotion, and as a result, all the trash in his thoughts subsided. So we have a lot of trash in our thoughts, right? The world has put a lot of trash. बहुत कचरा भरा है दुनिया ने हमारे दिमाग में. So what Bhagavad Gita does is it cleans that trash, that contamination, that impurities that the world has fed in Arjuna. All the lies that we have been taught, Bhagavad Gita cleans it up. So next please. Because of Lord's pastimes and activities and because of his absence, it appeared that Arjun forgot the instructions left by the personality of Godhead. But factually, this was not the case. And again, he became Lord of his senses. So ऐसा लग रहा था थोड़ी देर के लिए कि अर्जुन भूल गया वो सारी इंस्ट्रक्शन जो कृष्णा ने उसको दी थी. अर्जुन तक भूल सकता है, right? So हम लोग तो क्या ही है फिर? Arjun is a great friend of Krishna. He's serving Krishna in Sankhya Bhav. He's such intimate friend of Krishna. So we have to read this knowledge, practically apply it, understand it from the, there are so many teachers that can help you apply it on a daily basis. Because of his possessing spiritual assets, the doubt of duality were completely cut off. Thus, he was freed from the three modes of material nature and placed in transcendence. There was no longer any chance of his becoming entangled at birth and death, for he was freed from material form. So what is he doing? He's completely absorbed in the instructions of Bhagavad Gita that were given to him many years back by Krishna. He's remembering those when now Krishna has left. This is just a little short snippet from Srimad Bhagavatam. I just wanted to give you a little taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, that what Bhagavatam has. Bhagavatam has stories of Krishna's devotees in it. Okay, now let's go back to Bhagavad Gita. So this is Gita Mahatmya. This is spoken by actually Lord Shiva about Bhagavad Gita. It's Lord Shiva says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantrastasya Namani Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. So Lord Shiva is saying, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Let there be only one scripture. If there is one scripture that you had to have in your pocket as your manual of life, then let there be only one scripture. That's Devaki Putra Gitam, which means Krishna's Gita or Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. One God that you should worship is Devaki Putra. Eko mantras tasya namani yani. There is only one mantra that you should be chanting that consists of the names of Lord Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Karmapi ekam. There should only be one action. Tasya devasya seva. That Lord's service. So one mantra, one scripture, one action to perform in this life, and one God to worship, and that's the Supreme Lord. So this this comes from Gita Mahatmya, which is the glorification of the Supreme Lord. Somehow I don't have. Keep going to the next one. This is some. I know that you're all modern people. You're very much interested in science, and there are some modern inventions going on. And Einstein is one of the most well-known scientists. He's the father of quantum physics, and he said that I have made the Bhagavad Gita as a source of my inspiration and guide for the purpose of scientific investigation and formation of my theories. There are many scientists actually, there are many philosophers, many writers, many scholars who have taken inspiration from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So remember that this is spiritual science. Who thinks that material science, that all these inventions that we have and that we have, this is much superior to spiritual science, or spiritual science has no place. Who thinks? Okay, I mean, I think material science is very important. I mean, that's why we have this internet and this laptop and this Zoom platform, this mic, right? So I think the science is very important, right? So can somebody help me reconcile why is there one that's more important than other? I mean, we're sitting in an AC room, and we have this nice clothes to wear, these different type of fabrics that are woven with different machines, and so such beautiful decorations around us. All this is coming from science. All this nice places to sit, and so many gadgets and equipments all around us.
Well, this is all material. It is still a Maya. It is, it's going, it's comforting, but it's delusional.
Sure. Okay. Any other viewpoints on this?
That is created by a man's brain. The brain is created by God.
Sure.
The creativity comes not by Technically, it comes by intellectual. The intellectual is given by God.
Your intellect is given by God, creativity is given by God, ideas are given by Him.
Yeah.
He's the first person who did everything, right? We're just inventing those things that He has already created. Well, and I'm sure you can all keep giving different points about this, right? But this is what Bhagavad Gita has to say about it. So material science, yes, it's Maya, it's created by people, whatever. But whatever you have been given, whatever resources, whatever anything that you have been given, you use it in service of Krishna. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. This is called this is a type of yoga, which means everything that you have been given a phone. Now you have a choice to use this, watch something bad or look, just waste your time or do some nonsense things on it, or you can use it to connect to Krishna. So every invention, everything that we have, ultimately, if we use it in service of Krishna, it does not remain Maya anymore, right? It does not keep you entangled here anymore. It doesn't keep you in confusion or delusion anymore. It becomes a source of actually liberation and freedom as soon as you connect it to Krishna. So material science and spiritual science are not separate. One should be used in the service of another. Material energy should be used in the service of the Supreme Lord. It's His Maya. So it should be used in His service. She's Maya, Devi is her servant, is His servant. So she should be used in His service. As long as you use it in His service, you're okay. But if you use it in your service and just for your own selfish agendas and just for your own sense gratification, it is Maya, right? It will entangle you, trap you. So, so this is the understanding about material and spiritual science. Okay, this is just some things that I have there. Okay, let's start some lessons, some practical application points from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, can you keep going? I'm not able to move your, I'm trying here. Okay, so okay, you know what the setting of Bhagavad Gita is? Where is Bhagavad Gita spoken? We just talked about it.
Kurukshetra.
What does Kurukshetra mean? It's a battlefield, right? It's a battlefield where a great fratricidal war is about to be fought. Okay. So it's a very high energy zone, right? There's a lot going on. It's like almost the climax of all the efforts that both sides have put in so far, right? It's the culmination point where now it will be decided who will rule this kingdom. So it's a very important, critical point of Mahabharata. Is that right? So, so the first lesson to learn here is, even though this was such a critical point, this was such a busy time, this was such an important time, what did Arjun do? Arjun is confused, okay? He did not just act on his confusion, okay, I will run away or I will fight. He thought about it, okay? And he told Krishna, please take my chariot in the middle of the two armies. I want to inspect what's going on. So the first point here is what Arjun did is he took some time, even though our lives are very busy. Is your life as busy as the battlefield of Kurukshetra? I don't think so. I mean, yes, we are busy. We have a lot of things going on. We have jobs and children and their activities and our own activities and whatnot. But still, it's not as busy as Arjun was on the battlefield, right? So what did he still do? Even though he's in the midst of this very busy battle zone, he took a moment for himself. He withdrew from this battle. He said, let me inspect, let me introspect, let me see what's going on. I'm feeling conflicted. I'm feeling some confusing emotions, right? And I want to evaluate the situation and see what needs to be done. Okay. So basically, what did he do was he took some time. Okay, he took some time. So who here thinks that we don't have enough time in our life to practice this knowledge or to read this knowledge on a daily basis? Everyone, yeah, that's right? Everyone, nobody has time. But you can see this is the first understanding here that some things are so important in life that you have to make time. Okay. So here, this is the first practical point to understand. I'll give you some examples. For example, let's say अभी हम कहाँ से आए? हम जैक्सन से मेम्फिस आए, right? हम कार में आए. Let's say हमारी कार में गैस नहीं है और हमने चलना शुरू कर दिया. और मैं बोल रही हूँ कि हमें 10 बजे पहुंचना है and we have no time to stop for gas. Does that make sense? Can we get anywhere if we don't have gas? So some things are so important that you have to hold your horses. You have to stop in the middle. You have to stop your chariot in the middle and make time for it. Because there is no other way around it. You will not get anywhere unless you make time for it. So this is where we have to come to that point that this spiritual knowledge, this is so important that we have to make time for it, because ultimately we are spirit soul. So yes, we have these bodily duties, so many responsibilities and things going on, but I am the spirit soul, so that needs to be catered first and foremost, right? That's why all the spiritualists will take time first thing in the morning. Before they get busy with the life, before the life starts happening, let's withdraw from this world. Let's connect with the divine. Let's spend some time reading this wisdom literature, washing our consciousness with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, right? So something you have to spend time if you want to be fueled up, recharged, so that you can make that journey. Okay. Some other examples. For example, let's say we want to eat. We don't have anything in our home to eat. So what did I do? I opened the fridge and I saw frozen pizza. Okay. But I'm so hungry that I will just serve the frozen pizza like this. Look how. क्या इसको खाया जा सकता है? नहीं खाया जा सकता. You have to take time to cook it, right? You have to take time to put it in the oven. So if you want to get nourished, you have to cook that pizza. You can't just eat it. Similarly, if you want to live a very enriching life to the topmost potential, you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to take time to do this, to make this happen. Okay, so make this spiritual life, start your spiritual life, start it first thing in the morning before the rest of the day overwhelms you. Okay. And if you're not able to make a time in the morning, any time in the day is fine. In the middle of your work, in the lunch break, whenever you're able to chant some names, you're able to read a verse, you're able to hear a class or connect with the devotees for 10 minutes, something, whatever you can do, just start, right? So this is the first thing Arjun is teaching us, that even though he was in the middle of this battlefield, he took time to just recharge, refuel himself, right, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna also withdrew. Krishna said, okay, let's spend some time. So it took about 45 minutes to speak with Bhagavad Gita. एक और मुझे कहानी याद आ रही है about the time, making time to do something very important. एक बार क्या था कि एक वुड कटर था, वो पेड़ कट कर रहा था, ठीक है. उसने सोचा था कि हर रोज मैं 20 पेड़ कट करूंगा. तो हर रोज वो 20 पेड़ कट कर रहा था. अब जब चौथा पांचवा दिन आया तो उसको रियलाइज हुआ कि अब वो इतने पेड़ कट नहीं कर पा रहा, ओनली 10 पेड़ कट हो रहे हैं. उसका पेड़ काटने की स्पीड बहुत कम हो गई है. So then one person came and asked him, क्या क्यों तंग हो? उसने कहा कि मैंने सोचा था 20 कट करूंगा, लेकिन 10 ही हो पा रहे हैं. हर पेड़ को काटने में बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा है. तो उस बंदे ने पूछा उससे, क्या तुमने अपनी जो ये एक्स है इसको शार्पन किया? उसने कहा नहीं, इसको शार्पन करने का मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. अब वो क्या कर, अगर वो थोड़ा टाइम स्पेंड कर ले to sharpen that axe, will he be able to do 20, maybe even more? Yes, he will be able to, but he's foolish. He's not spending time to sharpen that axe. That is what we're doing. Our consciousness is unlimited. We are Satchidanand Roop like Krishna, right? We belong to, we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So हमारी जो consciousness है वो completely free है, बहुत sharp है, unlimited है, लेकिन हम उसको पूरा use नहीं करें. We are not tapping into it. We are not tapping into the potential of the unlimited consciousness that we have. जो दुनिया में हो रहा है बस उसमें हम अपना लगे हुए हैं, करते जा रहे हैं, just in the rat race. But remember that in the rat race, even if you win, you are still a rat. So let's forget the things that have been told by the world, and let's not become a rat. Let's take a step back, like Arjun, spend some time on us, withdraw from this world, and just connect to the divine. So this is somebody who चाबी भर रहा है. अगर चाबी भरोगे तो चलेगा ना पूरा ना. लेकिन हम चाबी ही नहीं भरते, हम बस चलना शुरू कर देते हैं दिन में, अपनी लाइफ में, और फिर हमें जब लोग आते हैं, they say all these provoking things and we're not able to deal with it. We're full of anger, right? We're not able to tolerate it. We don't have any humility. We have anger issues. Our mind is distracted and uncontrolled. It's going in so many different directions. So many desires are coming. We're not able to control our senses. जो दिखता है वो खाने का मन करता है. Why? Because we did not dip our consciousness in this amazing, wonderful knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which tells you actually all these things about mind control, anger control, sense control, about proper values and virtues to show up in the day with proper values and virtues. जैसे बैटलफील्ड में जाते हैं तो जाने से पहले अपना आर्मर डालते हैं, राइट? अपना शील्ड और वो सब डालते हैं, अपनी तलवार वो करते हैं. जब क्रिकेटर्स उसमें जाते हैं वो अपना पूरा गियर डालते हैं, राइट? तो वो खेलना शुरू कर दे और फिर चोट लगे और बोले कि चोट लग गई बट गियर डालने का टाइम नहीं था. Why did you gear up? Why don't you put your armor, your shield on? Why don't you sharpen your sword, your axe, right? फिर जब दुनिया में जाओगे, जो आपको कुछ उल्टा सीधा कोई बोलेगा, कुछ होगा, you'll be able to deal with all those things. This is the first thing. This is just from the second of Bhagavad Gita. This is, and again, जब हम arrow भी चलाते हैं, तो you have to pull back, right? So you should pull back. Pulling back gives what? Pulling back gives the proper aim. It gives the proper force also. So every day, pull back for some time, withdraw, disconnect from the internet and from the, chuck of this world, just the noise of this world that's just distracting you all the time. Just withdraw from all that. Just spend time on Harinam. Spend time on the wisdom literatures like our scriptures. They're deep, they're vast. They will immediately, as soon as you start reading, you will be connected to the supreme absolute truth. As soon as you, Tat Kshana, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tat Kshana, that same instance you will be connecting to the Lord, you will be dancing with the Lord in his Rasalam. So let's.
Like a vacation time.
Yes, yes. Instead of vacation means what? For spiritualists, this is the vacation. So हम लोग vacation में क्या करते हैं? We are just sense gratification.
Take a break from your regular day-to-day busy life, and then pull back, think about it.
Yeah.
Takes a mental rest also.
Exactly. Yeah. So अपना ये just because we are spirit soul, so we should connect to the spiritual source, the divine source. हमारे source से connect करेंगे हम. जैसे कि हम charge करते हैं अपना laptop, अपनी phone को charge करते हैं, लगाते हैं ना everyday. पर अपने आप को charge नहीं करते. So that's why we are getting discharged and we are depressed and there are anxieties and there are problems and marital problems and professional problems and social problems. What's not going on, right? Okay, let's keep going. I have many lessons here. Whatever we can cover in an hour or so, we'll cover. If not, we'll just stop. So what Bhagavad Gita does is it changes your vision. It changes your vantage point from where you see things. जैसे कि आप example लेते हैं, एक downtown में जाते हैं. Think of some downtown you've been to. Like I can think of Chicago. मैं Chicago में रही हूँ काफी साल. So Chicago में ऐसे बड़ी-बड़ी buildings हैं. जब हम नीचे खड़े होते हैं और आप buildings को देखते हो, तो it seems very overwhelming, right? Very tall buildings. ऐसे ऊपर एकदम या towering over you, right? Now let's say you change your vantage point. You are in a plane. ठीक है, अब आप बहुत ऊपर पहुंच गए. Now you're looking at those same buildings, but they appear very small to you, right? बहुत छोटे हो गए, कुछ छोटे-छोटे ऐसा लग रहा है नीचे. So what Bhagavad Gita does is, it will change your vision of this world. It will change your vantage point from where you see your life. Okay. So आपकी जो life की problems हैं, quarrels हैं, difficulties हैं, whatever is going on, right? Everything will appear very small to you, very insignificant to you, very shallow, and you will know, you will have a very different type of consciousness, different type of mentality in dealing with them, because Bhagavad Gita has changed your consciousness altogether. So you're looking at the same situation, but from a very different, elevated consciousness, elevated vision. Okay? So that is what, so will change your understanding of this world. We can keep going. Okay. Okay, so next thing. अच्छा, setting of Bhagavad Gita में एक चीज और मैं बताना चाहती हूँ. Setting of Bhagavad Gita में एक lesson आपने सीखा. What was the first lesson? First lesson was take time for yourself. Okay. Second lesson हमने क्या सीखा? Arjun was a very learned person. Do you all know that? Arjun was a devotee of the Lord. He had received great, wonderful spiritual knowledge during his upbringing, right? So he was fully equipped with this knowledge, है ना? Lekin still, when the time came, it was difficult for him to apply it. Do you agree? Huh? So there are two terms in Bhagavad Gita. One is Gyan, one is Vigyan. Gyan means having the knowledge, and Vigyan means applying the knowledge. Okay? Applying the knowledge or having proper realization. So a lot of times we have knowledge, but when the time comes, we are not able to apply it. Okay? Arjun was not shy in asking for proper guidance from a proper resource. Okay, he wanted to know exactly what to do in this situation. So he reached out to the source of all knowledge, which is absolute truth, Krishna. He said he accepted Krishna as a spiritual master, and he said, "You please tell me what is best for me." And he says, "What is best for me in the long run?" Okay. So इसमें बहुत सारी verses हैं, of course, and I have those verses. If you are able to pull up any now, this is not these ones yet. But basically, Arjun accepts that I have developed this weakness of thought and I'm not able to see clearly. I'm not able to see things clearly. So he says, and you can recite these verses if you know, please. Karpanya dosho patan svabhava krichami dharma samudacheta yacheta Shishya sevakam shadimam tvam prapannam. So he says, I'm your Shishya, Samurcheta. I've become very bewildered in my consciousness, in my intelligence. Please tell me what to do. Shreyas, what is best for me? Okay, I'm only able to look at the short-term vision. Give me the long-term vision. Okay, tell me what is most beneficial for all people, for all situations. Tell me that. Okay, right now I have a very narrow tunnel vision. So the second lesson is he was not shy in asking for help from the right source. Okay, a spiritually advanced person will be able to guide him. So a lot of time we have this knowledge, we may be reading Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis, but then there comes these very difficult situations in life where we still get confused because we're still majority of time in contact with the world, right? So world keeps contaminating us. तो क्या होता है कि बार बार वो दुनिया का भूसा या ट्रैश हमारे कॉन्शियसनेस में आता ही रहता है. So when the difficult situation comes, we are not able to apply this knowledge. We have ज्ञान, but we don't have विज्ञान. So at that time, we should not be shy in asking, in submitting to a spiritual master, to a guide, a spiritually advanced well-wisher of ours, not a materialistic person, not just कि कोई friend वगैरह जिसका अपना कुछ agenda हो या जो जिसको कुछ इस wisdom के बारे में पता नहीं है, but somebody who's very learned in this wisdom and can guide you properly. We should take shelter. We should submit to such a spiritual authority. So Arjun was not shy in asking for help. Okay. So this is 2 lessons, right? Okay. Now we'll start with, now let's see. Can I have this? Who knows what are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita को मोटा-मोटा 5 topics में divide करते हैं. 5 topics क्या हैं? And I will tell you कि कैसे we have misunderstood each of those topics of Bhagavad Gita. Not Bhagavad Gita. What is the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita? Bhakti is the core essence of Bhagavad Gita, yes. But okay, so let's start with Ramachandra was saying Jiva or self. Okay. You can mention another one. Paramatma, or let's say we can say God, Ishwar. Okay. Okay. Third topic. They're not in this order, but I'm just listing based on what we are telling. Prakriti. So world. Okay. World. So these are the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita. Please try to remember them. Okay. Let's see if somebody else can answer. Huh? 5 main topics क्या है भगवद गीता के? एक बहुत major point हम miss कर रहे हैं जो Nagarjun Prabhu already mentioned. I will mention that.
Karma.
Yes, it is karma. So action, which is karma. Okay, these are the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita. And the last he mentioned is time, which means karma. Okay, I'm sorry for my significance. I'm bending at a weird angle. So these are the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita. We'll try to understand what we know about each of these topics. Okay, from the world, from this samsara, what they have told us. Okay, and what Bhagavad Gita tells us. Because if you understand the misunderstandings or confusion in these 5 main topics, these 5 main principles or formulas, then you will be able to solve a lot of your problems. Okay. So first is self. So first thing is we have a very big identity crisis. We have a very big confusion about our identity. Okay. So we think we are this body. Okay. And no matter, even though we have heard this so many times that we are not this body, we are the soul, still we keep acting on the bodily platform only. Okay. So this first point about our identity needs to be really deeply ingrained and has to be practiced on a daily basis multiple times to understand that I'm not this body. And let me start acting from my real platform, which is a spiritual platform. I'm actually a spirit soul. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. I'm servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. That is my actual Swarup. I'm indestructible. I'm eternal. I am timeless. I'm immutable. I cannot be changed. I cannot be destroyed. Death cannot affect me. Nothing can burn me. Nothing can harm me. So that is the first thing to understand. Okay. If you understand this one fact and really deeply understand it, a lot of your fears, a lot of your anxieties, a lot of your attachments will be broken immediately. Okay, because you start acting from that spiritual platform. जैसे मैं आपको इसमें एग्जांपल देती हूँ एक कहानी के थ्रू. एक बार क्या हुआ कि एक मैं हिंदी में बोल रही हूँ. एक बार क्या हुआ कि एक लायन कब मतलब लायन का बच्चा got mixed with a family of deer. Okay, he started living with them and deer family started raising him. Okay, so he started thinking I'm deer. Now what is this identity crisis? He's thinking I'm a deer. एक दिन अब उसको ये ट्रेनिंग मिली थी कि जब कोई लायन आएगा तो आपको भागना है. तो एक दिन लायन आया. Okay, and all the deer were running away. Now do you think that the lion cub needed to run away from that lion? No. Lion cub did not need to run away because he ran with the deer because he was very fearful for his life. He was very worried. Oh no, this lion is going to eat me. But actually, the lion was never going to eat it because it never belonged to the deer family, right? So this is our problem. We think all these things that are happening around us are going to affect me, but actually, none of this is going to affect you because this is like a dream-like state. Whatever is happening to the body. Your real self is completely protected. Whether illness happens, any harm happens, किसी ने कुछ बुरा बोल दिया वो तो क्या ही affect करेगा आपको. तो कोई physically harm करता है, that is only bodily harm. What I'm trying to say is understand your real identity and a lot of your fears, a lot of your problems will go away. Just like that lion cub need not be fearful of that lion. Similarly, we need not be fearful of so many things that are happening around us. हम न्यूज पढ़ते रहते हैं, सुनते रहते हैं और न्यूज पढ़ के एक दूसरे को डराते हैं, खुद भी डरते रहते हैं. You don't need to be fearful because actually the real self cannot be harmed. So first thing is to understand your proper identity.
So, say अभी कोरोना टाइम है ना, so everybody started living inside the home. We were given instruction that we have to keep distance and not avoid any crowd areas. So how to deal with those situations? If I am the only body and I will not be affected, if I think that way, then I'll get.
Right, very nice question. So Prabhu, even though we are this body, we are not this body, we are the soul. The body is given to us by Krishna as a resource. Human life is very valuable resource, and we'll come to that point. Human life needs to be protected as much as we can. We cannot waste it whimsically. Okay. So we have to do, it is our part of our karma, part of our duty, part of our responsibility to protect the human life. Okay. But if something does, so you do your job. Again, this comes in part of Karma Yoga. You do your due diligence in protecting your body. That's why we are very protective of our body, right? We are wearing masks and we are, eating healthy. We don't put any intoxicants or any illicit substances in our body because we treat our body like a temple, right? This is where Jiva resides in this body. Also, Paramatma resides. So, body has a lot of. Through body we interact with this world, and through this body we will be able to get liberated. So body is actually very valuable. So we are not trying to diminish the value of the body here. What we are trying to say is understand, you do your due diligence, but if something does happen, don't become so fearful that you're consumed by the fear. We become overly unnecessarily fearful in this world. We become unnecessarily attached in this world. इस दुनिया में तो रहो, पर दुनिया के होके मत रहो. Like a lotus flower, जिसके ऊपर drop पड़ती है and it rolls away, right? It lives in this muddy water. दलदल में रह के भी दलदल उसको touch नहीं कर सकता. It is still a beautiful lotus flower. So live more from a spiritual platform than from a bodily platform. So you protect, you do your due diligence, but you're not like acting overly fearful and scaring everyone and just overly consumed by the thoughts of कि जैसे अगर aging हो रही है तो let me do all the kind of botoxes and fillers because I am this body, so I have to look the best, right? So just giving an example of those are unnecessary things.
So we hear transplant.
Now, if it serves a purpose, why not? If it serves a purpose, why not? Right? Like we wear proper clothes, right? Because we are representative of Krishna, servant of Krishna. We want to look good because you want to look, good for service of Krishna. So if that's if the goal is कि attention मिलेगी या so like that.
Matrimonial set update.
तो अगर unnecessary मुझे वो सब चाहिए, out of vanity मत कीजिए. But yes, if you think that this is kind of something that I need to do for my self-esteem and, to feel proper so that I can be confident and I can portray myself as a very, very confident person. If that's what is important to you, then yes, by all means.
So
But jealousy आ जाती है public में.
Yes, of course, because this is material world, so there are the reactions.
So to go back to your earlier question, right? If I can add to that. So the human body, जो शरीर है, in this form we can do lot many prayers and get closer to the Param Brahma, Vishnu. So if you are in a different form or different body, you are bound by the duties or the habits of that body. If you are in a body of an wild animal, you don't have that intellectual
Basically,
consciousness.
human body is
Yeah.
where all the faculty, resources, and power is given for a liberation, for
Yes.
going back to God.
Right.
So human life is very valuable. We'll come to that point
Right.
towards the end. So you got one understanding about the jiva. Okay, another understanding we can go. So this is a very beautiful verse. We can maybe recite one verse from each of the concepts. So whoever knows this verse, let's recite. This is Bhagavad Gita 2.13. Dehinosmi yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara तथा देहान्ते अप्राप्ते धीरस्तत्तृणमुयति. So sober person is not confused by all the changes that happen in the body, even when body changes from one body to another or within the same body during aging process. A sober person is not confused. Okay, second point about jiva. Okay, second confusion, second misunderstanding in this world that we have about our identity is we think we are the lord of this world. So we live in a way that we want to be the enjoyer of this world. That's why we exploit this world. We exploit the resources of this world. We exploit other people around us, and we have this lordship mentality. Okay, keeping ourselves in center type of mentality. Whereas a real position is that of the servant of Krishna. The quicker you understand this point, the more joyful your life will become. Actually, सेल्फिश तरीके से रहने से, लोगों को एक्सप्लॉइट करने से, नेचर को एक्सप्लॉइट करने से जो इंजॉयमेंट मिलती है, that is very inferior compared to when you live as a servant, when you live a life of service, when you live a life of selfless life with Krishna centered life. Okay, knowing that everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, everybody is a child of God, including all the species, all the living entities, and I have a duty towards myself but also towards them. And so when you start extending that service attitude to your society members, to your community, to your profession, to your people that are dependent on you, like your family, you live more like a servant. You stop demanding things from them. You stop exploiting them. You stop having expectations from them because I am their servant. I have been put in this position of being their servant. It's not that they are my servants. इसीलिए हम सबको प्रभु करके या माता जी करके बोलते हैं. Which means Prabhu means you are my Lord, how may I serve you? So we should always have this attitude of how may I serve you? Okay. So as soon as we come to that understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and all the species, all the other people are also his children, and we have to serve everyone, and in this way also serve the Supreme Lord, then we will have very happy, very deeply profound enjoyment that we will not get otherwise by just exploiting people or just demanding from people and just by living a corrupt, that's a very corrupt, contaminated life where we have a lordship mentality. So 5.29 is a key verse of Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, I am the enjoyer. Why are you living as an enjoyer? You are not an enjoyer. You are not the bhokta. You are my servant. Okay, so he says, Bhoktaram yagyatapsam sarvalok maheshwaram suhrida sarvabhutanam yakamam shanti vrichati. So this is a peace formula. आपको एकदम से शांति मिल जाएगी. As soon as you understand that he is the Sarvalok Maheshwar, he is the Supreme Lord of whose we are the servant, he is the Supreme Enjoyer. We should be working for his enjoyment, not for our own enjoyment. As soon as you work for your own enjoyment, you become entangled in this world and you have to keep cycling in the circle of birth and death. So this is the important position to understand. So these are the two confusions about Jiva. One is our identity. We think we are the body or the matter. We forget that we are actually the soul or the spirit. And the second thing we forget is that our position is that of the servant of the Lord. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are a child of God. We are a servant of God. So these are the two misunderstandings. Okay? इसलिए दुनिया में तो लोग बोलते हैं ना कि कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में and you become the best, but actually in spiritual world जो सबसे ज्यादा सेवा करता है that is considered the best. जो सबसे ज्यादा menial servant होता है, that is why we always say we are das anudas. We are servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. So we are not trying to be the topmost, we are trying to be the bottommost, where we are serving everyone, and everybody is our Prabhu, is our master, and the supreme master, supreme enjoyer is actually Krishna. So this is the position we should understand. As soon as you try to switch this tomorrow when you go to work, switch your mentality to a service mentality. Try to start working from spiritual platforms. Start applying these things that you're learning. Make some time, withdraw from your life, and spend some time with divine. Do all these things, and you will see the changes that are happening immediately. It's not even. The taste of the pudding lies in eating it. So you have to apply it to see that it will work. Next point, let's go to, and this is something that Shakespeare said, that this above all, to thy own self be true. It must follow as the night the day. Thou cannot then be false to any man. If you are not true to yourself, how can you be true to anybody else? Since we are not true to ourselves, we are false. We are living in this false sort of lordship mentality. We are living in the false sort of bodily conception of life. We are not able to deal with people properly. We are seeing people just as a resource for help. For मेरा क्या, मेरे को कैसे ये बंदा help कर सकता है, just for that. But now switch it around, turn it to 180 degree. How may I serve this person? And so then you will be able to be true to other people also. So why relationships are breaking down, why professions don't work, why communities are falling apart, why countries don't get along, countries are falling apart, because everybody is just trying to, इससे मैं क्या निकाल सकता हूँ, exploit कैसे कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so next point, I'm trying to go a little quicker. Of course, the wisdom is very, very deep, and a lot of stories, a lot of verses, a lot of songs, things come to mind. Next point is about God or Ishwar. So the second topic of Bhagavad Gita is God. So one is Jiva and now God. Okay. So Krishna talks a lot about himself, not as much as we would really like for him to, but he still talks enough about himself to establish his supremacy. He establishes that he is the supreme Lord, which is abhi bola tha sarvlok maheshwaram, aise hi bahut baar Krishna bolte hain. So with God, I'll just give one lesson. Okay, one practical understanding is, a lot of times when we go to God, we just go as if there is a business transaction with him. कि आप मुझे ये दो तो मैं आपको ये दूंगा, मैं आपको नारियल फोड़ूंगा या आपके टेंपल में इतने का दान दूंगा अगर आप मेरी ये मनोकामना पूरी कर दो, if you give me this promotion, or if I get I don't know, child or a son, or if I get a spouse or something. So this is like a consumer supplier type of relationship. This is like a business deal. But Krishna says, Suhrit Sarvabhutanam, I am actually your best friend. He says, I am your loving parent. He's not going to give us what we demand from him because we think that is best for us. He's a parent who's going to give us what we need based on our spiritual growth. So this is something we have to understand. Spiritual growth kaise? Hum spirit soul hai, right? So Krishna ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें वो देंगे जो हमारी बॉडी के लिए सही है. Okay, कृष्ण हमें वो देंगे जो हमारे लिए सही है, क्योंकि हम सोल हैं, हमारी eternal spiritual journey है. Okay, Krishna is going to give us what we need for that seamless eternal journey to continue back to him. He's not going to give us what is good for you in short term for this bodily point of view, because we have a very short term tunnel vision, just like Arjuna. Whereas Krishna knows the past, present, future. He knows what we deserve. He knows what we need, not what we demand from him. So he has his own plans for us. Okay. Other thing to understand about Krishna is, so don't just keep asking from him like a business transaction, but actually twist the narrative around and now try to give to him, try to serve him. Okay. Stop asking for yourself, because if you start giving to him, he will give you the best that you need. Krishna will start playing a role in your life. He will start executing his own plans in your life. आपको क्या लगता है कि आपके प्लान आपके लिए अच्छे रहेंगे या कृष्णा के प्लान आपके लिए अच्छे रहेंगे? कृष्णा के प्लान आपके लिए अच्छे रहेंगे बिकॉज ही नोज योर पास्ट प्रेजेंट फ्यूचर, राइट? तो इसीलिए आपको अगर कृष्णा के प्लान्स चाहिए अपने लाइफ में, देन यू शुड स्टार्ट सर्विंग हिम, यू शुड स्टार्ट ऑफरिंग हिम, यू शुड स्टार्ट गिविंग योरसेल्फ टू हिम, नॉट जस्ट गिविंग मेरा ये काम हो जाए तो मैं आपको ये दूंगा. दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी low class thinking. So we have to rise above that and we have to start offering ourselves and things that we do for. जैसे हम भोगा बनाते हैं भगवान के कि जो तेरा तुझको अर्पित, right? So in that mood, just offer everything to Krishna, your actions, your life, your family members, your house, open everything up for the service of Krishna, okay? And then he will start playing a role in your life. Because what does Krishna want from us? He wants a relationship with us. He wants us to want a relationship with him. The whole point of Bhagavad Gita is that Krishna wants us to establish a relationship with him. तो जैसे हम एक कोई व्यक्ति है, अगर हमारा आपस में रिलेशनशिप होगा तो आप उसकी लाइफ में इंटरफेयर करोगे, राइट? आप उसकी लाइफ में इंटरवीन करोगे, यू विल हैव अ प्लान फॉर हिम, you will guide him, you will assist him, right? So if you establish a relationship with Krishna, then he is an individual person who will reciprocate with you, who will execute his plans for you, and you will see his presence in a very tangible way in your life. लेकिन अगर आपको किसी व्यक्ति के साथ कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, then he will let you be. आप करोगे किसी सड़क पे कोई चलते व्यक्ति को इंटरफेयर करोगे कि स्मोकिंग मत कर या गलत हैबिट को छोड़ दे या whatever, will you say anything? You will not say. आप किसी के दूसरे के बच्चे को कुछ बोलोगे? नहीं बोलोगे, आप अपने बच्चे को बोलोगे. So if you have a relationship with Krishna, he will play a part in your life. If you do not establish a relationship with him, then you're just given to the laws of nature. मतलब लॉज ऑफ प्रकृति, जैसे कि कर्मा वगैरह के हिसाब से आपको रिएक्शन मिलेंगे फिर जैसे भी. तो इसीलिए जब लोग बोलते हैं कि मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ ये वो, well, you are just getting your reactions as you deserved, because this is the kind of actions you performed in your life, so you're getting those reactions back. Now why don't you add Krishna in your life, then his plans will play out in your life, right? So इसलिए devotees जो हैं, they are able to see Krishna's presence very tangibly in their life. Okay.
जो हम बोलते हैं कर्म कर फल की इच्छा मत कर.
वो आ रहा है नेक्स्ट आ रहा है, आई थिंक नेक्स्ट आ रहा है. वो तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट. लेट मी सी नेक्स्ट क्या है. So okay, 1926 Krishna says, what does he say? पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्ति उपारितम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः. Give me whatever you have. You don't have to give me very opulent offerings. Krishna doesn't care कि बहुत ज़्यादा ऐश्वर्या वाली चीजें दे रहा है. He doesn't care about your wealth or your money or your opulence. He's a patra, pushpa, leaf, fruit, water, whatever, flower, whatever you can give to me. You can offer anything. If you don't have anything to offer, just offer a prayer. If you don't know a prayer, then just pay obeisance, right? Offer your head down. If you don't even have, you can't bend like that, then just say some sweet words to Krishna. Just offer something. You can offer a bad habit. You can say, Krishna, today for you, I will not get angry. Today for you, I will not fight with my spouse. Something like that. Right? Maybe I should make that offering more often.
Yeah, good idea.
I think so, yeah. Anyway, so I'm just saying you can offer but so many things. And Krishna says that this jiva, he's struggling. He's trying to offer something to me. Right? So Krishna reciprocates. और आप Krishna is unlimited. आप तो इतने limited हो, infinitesimal हो. He's infinite. अगर आप एक कदम जाओगे तो he will come thousands of steps towards you. Okay, next point is about karma. So this is what Prabhuji was asking. Now on action. So this is a very important topic of Bhagavad Gita. On this we have so many misunderstandings from this world. Okay, I have taken 4. I'll try to quickly go through them. So first of all, what is the intention behind an action? जैसे हम कुछ काम करते हैं. So our intention should be, again, पहले हमने बात की थी, to become an instrument of service. Okay, so always be an instrument of service. Always think, how may I serve in this particular situation? Okay, so intention should not be keeping self in the center. Intention should be to keep Krishna or service attitude, service of others, or service of Krishna in center. Okay, so intention पहले तो ये होनी चाहिए कोई काम करने के लिए. So erase that understanding where you are told कि अपने आप को सेंटर में रख के सब कुछ अपने लिए करना होता है. पहले उसको हटा दीजिए. So keep your intention clean. Clean up your intention. Sure. Then next thing is, let's go to the next one. Is what Prabhuji is asking, the outcome. Okay. outcome matlab phal, the result. Okay, now this is a very famous understanding from Bhagavad Gita कि कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर. It is very true understanding कि क्या होता है, फल क्या होता है, फल is the result. Okay, we do not have result in our hand. We are not in control of the result. We are not in control of the outcome. Okay, so actually even in modern world, this understanding is very prominent now, that we should be more process oriented or task oriented. We should not be so much outcome oriented. Okay, so when you do your job, when you do your work, whatever work you're doing, whether you're working at home, with your family member, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you are at your job, at your profession, in the society, do that action is in your hand. Do that very joyfully, with focus, with absorption, giving all your heart and all your intelligence and all your resources into it. So do it with full focus, with full joy. That is all in your hand. You do not have outcome in your hand, because outcome depends on many factors that are beyond your control. Okay? आपको मैं एग्जांपल देती हूँ. For example, मैं प्रभु जी बहुत, I'm sure he is, but बहुत अमीर है. मैंने प्रभु जी को बोला कि मुझे $1,000 चाहिए. Okay? अब क्या है, लेट्स से वो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं. पहले उन्होंने मुझे $1,000 दिए थे और उन्होंने देखा कि इस लड़की ने वेस्ट कर दिए थे वो जुए में या whatever. Okay, she wasted it. She completely lost, never gave my money back, lost it, and she cannot be trusted with this money. He also knows my situation, that actually I just need $100 for what, but I'm asking for more. मुझे चाहिए इसको चाहिए $100, लेकिन मांग 1,000 रही है. So he will just give me only. मेरे हाथ में क्या है, सिर्फ मांगना. मैं इनसे बहुत अच्छे से मांग सकती हूँ, प्रभु जी, I can be very pleased, and I can say, Prabhu ji, please, I will give it back to you. I can make promise. I can do my job very nicely. Whether he gives me that $1,000, or he gives me 100, or he gives me 0, or he gives me 500, or he gives me, if let's say my conduct has been amazing, exemplary in the past, he may give me, she deserves more. She's a wonderful person. I'm going to give her more. Maybe he'll give me 5,000, right? So the result, the outcome is in his hand, because he is the one giving it. Similarly, the outcome is not in our hand, because Krishna is the one giving it. He will give it based on what we deserve, what our past actions have been, and so many other things are in the. There are many variables in the mix. There may be our karmic reactions that needed to come through that outcome. There may be karmic reactions of other people associated in that. So the outcome is completely up to Krishna. इसलिए प्रभुपाद ऐसे बोलते थे, डिवोटीज ऐसा बोलते हैं कि जो हरि इच्छा, कि हमने अपना काम बहुत अच्छे से किया, अब जो हरि इच्छा. ठीक है? So in this way we should, and actually this is a very liberating, very freeing concept, कि अगर outcome मेरे हाथ में है ही नहीं, तो I should not worry so much about it. I should just do my job very properly, with full focus, with joy, enjoy it, right? Do it very nicely, and then just let it be. If अगर कृष्णा की इच्छा होगी, तो I'll get the outcome. Now, when you are doing the work, do it in a goal-oriented way. Yes, you should have goals. कि okay, let's say मैं exam के लिए पढ़ रही हूँ, I want 100% marks, right? तो मैंने अपना goal तो 100% के हिसाब से ही मैं पढ़ाई करूँगी. अब हो सकता है किसी वजह से कोई ऐसा question आ गया जो मेरे control में नहीं है, so I only got 85. But now I still have learned. I enjoyed the process of learning, right? I enjoyed it, and I will not kick myself if I did not get that result, because I knew I did my best. And if I get 100, I will not get puffed up that this was done by me. So this understanding is given in the very famous verse, the most famous verse that you probably know from Bhagavad Gita. We can all recite, 47. So this concept of karmanevadikara says that you only have adhikar on your karma, on your action. Ma karma phaletuhu. Don't think that you are the cause of your results. Whatever results you are getting, you did not cause them. I give them, you do not cause them. Okay, so don't get puffed up if you get some result, and don't get depressed if you don't get the result. Right? People start blaming themselves. There are students who commit suicide because they think they are the reason why this happened. So don't get depressed, don't get puffed up in either situation, because ma karma phaletuhu. You are not the hetu, the cause of your results. Mate sangos akarmani. Never get attached to not doing the work. Very important. You may think, अगर outcome मेरे हाथ में नहीं तो मैं काम ही क्यों करूं? Never get attached to not doing the work, because your future destiny will depend on how you did the work today. So you do your work with due diligence, with full responsibility, with full joy, full attention, full focus. Okay?
उसके बाद भी रिजल्ट नहीं मिले
Worry,
That's your. That's the best thing for you. This is like, I think the most.
को आंसर पता है मैं तो बस एंगेजमेंट के लिए कुछ क्वेश्चन
This is the most misunderstood verse of the Gita. more or less.
So, फिर ये तो बेसिक्स बातें हम बता रहे हैं, जिसके बहुत सारी ऑप्शंस are possible. So अगर आप करते ही जाओ सेम एक्शन, लेट्स से कि किसी को, लेट्स से टेक एन एग्जांपल, किसी को मेडिकल स्कूल में जाना है और वो 2-3 साल उसने ट्राई किया, राइट, हुआ नहीं उसका एडमिशन. आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग इट अप सिंपल. This is where now comes the time to ask for some spiritual guidance for some help. Maybe this is not suited to your swabhav, so Krishna is not giving you the result. Maybe this is not in your nature. Maybe you need to choose a different path, because again, remember, the time in the human life is very valuable. So maybe I need to change my path and do something else. Okay? So spiritual guidance or guidance of some well-wishers who are learners will come useful here. Okay, let's go to the next point about karma. Okay, so this is again an understanding about the karma. Worry about doing the best. Okay, or sorry, worry about trying your best, not being the best. अगर कोई अपने आप try करेगा, okay, if you keep focusing on your work, you will eventually become the best. But don't just worry about becoming the best. आगे चल सकते हैं? So this is okay. Now this is very important understanding of this same verse only. His success actually in this world, the success is measured by the outcome. Okay, everybody just looks at the outcome. If you did not get that outcome, you're not successful. And we have accepted this definition of success. And unfortunately, since we have accepted this definition of success, that's why people have low self-esteem, low confidence. People have, all these suicides happen, all these anxieties and depression and whatnot happen, because we have accepted this faulty definition of success, that it's only outcome based. Success is not only in the outcome. That may be what the world thinks. That's not what Krishna thinks. Krishna says very clearly in Bhagavad Gita that this result is not in your hand. I'm the one giving it. So how can you take credit for what happens? Okay. So success is in doing your best job. For example, हमारे scripture में बहुत अच्छा example आता है of somebody who will be a failure, considered a failure. But to Krishna, to Lord Ram, he was actually one of the topmost devotees. Can anybody think of an example? Lord Ram ke pastimes mein se. I know Nārangi Jatayu. So yes. Hanumanji was a success, but Jatayu was a failure. How? Because Jatayu went out to save Mother Sita. Okay. So his intention was to serve Lord Ram. Was his intention right? Did he give his best? He fought like anything, right? So, does he get full marks, full credit from Lord Ram? Yes. That's where his job ends, that he tried his best, okay? Now, he could not save Mother Sita, because remember, this is the whole Leela that is decided by Lord Ram. So, this is not in Jatayu's hand. Jatayu कुछ भी कर ले, वो सीता माता को नहीं बचा सकता, क्योंकि Lord Ram ने ये decide किया है कि ये लीला इस तरीके से रची जाएगी, right? But what did Jatayu have? Best of intention and best of effort. That is all is in your hand. Best of intention, best of effort. Outcome jo hai, Krishna is playing a role in your life. He will decide what the outcome will be. You can only do your best with the best, whatever faculties, whatever. Everyone should be aware of their nature, their resources, their faculties also. Like, for example, I'm not going to try and become, let's say, a quantum physicist today, or, start flying a rocket, because I will know my limitations. हमें अपना स्वभाव, अपनी nature, उसके हिसाब से endeavors करने चाहिए with proper guidance. And when you do those proper endeavors, do those to the best of your ability, and that's where your job ends. Okay? So फिर Jatayu, Lord Ram was so in debt of Jatayu कि जब वो he came to do his last rites, his antim sanskar, and that kind of antim sanskar he could not even do for his own father Dashrath, but he did it for Jatayu. So in our understanding of this word, Jatayu is a huge failure, but actually it was all success for Lord Ram. So this is something we have to understand, to change our definition of success. Don't go by the world's definition. Don't try to impress the world. They will never be impressed. अगर आपको लगता है कि आज मैंने impress कर भी दिया, तो कल जब आपका कुछ और होगा, inevitably there will be a problem. Inevitably there will be a failure. Inevitably there will be some loss of fame or name or reputation. As soon as that happens, people will only remember the last thing that happened with you. They will forget all the successes that happened. So do not try to impress the world because they have a very short-term vision. Those are not worthy of impressing. The only person that's worthy of impressing is the Supreme Lord. Just try to impress him. And that's his expectation is karmanyavadikara. Okay, the last point about action is, so far we have intention, result, success. Change your definition of success. Remember, we have faulty formulas, faulty principles we've been applying in life. The correct definition of success is in the outcome, in the process, not the outcome. The last thing is competition. Okay, competition matlab we often compete with other people. But Krishna says many times, can you open those two verses? So, and this is a very nice quote by Einstein. He says, everybody is a genius, but if you tell a fish that she's successful only when if she climbs a tree, then she will live her life thinking that she's a fool. Because fish has a different capacity, right? Fish has a different capability. She cannot climb a tree. So if you tell a bird that his success is in swimming, that's not going to happen because he does not have that capability. So इसलिए अगर आप किसी डॉक्टर को बोलते हो कि वो कोर्ट केस जाके जीते, वो नहीं जीत पाएगा क्योंकि उसकी कैपेबिलिटी कुछ और है. सो वी डू नॉट नीड टू कम्पीट. Often times as parents, हम अपने बच्चों को भी pitting them against each other कि competition में लगा देते हैं. But remember that each individual person, we are like snowflakes. Each person has their own capability. Each person is part and parcel of Krishna. Each person has their unique individuality. So by competition, we are suppressing that individuality. Okay. Everybody has this unlimited consciousness that will blossom, and we should allow that consciousness to blossom, not just suppress them with artificial competition. So Krishna बार बार बोलते हैं, भगवद गीता में 2 बार ये बोलते हैं, श्रेयंस धर्मो विगुणा पराधर्मात् स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेया पराधर्मो भयावहा. He says दूसरे का धर्म मत फॉलो करो, दूसरे का पाथ मत फॉलो करो. He says स्वधर्म word like 3 times in that word. अपना धर्म फॉलो करो जो आपकी कैपेबिलिटी, whatever fits your nature, your potential is different, your intelligence, your skill set, your talents, whatever, everything is different compared to somebody else. Don't compare with them. Okay. So swadharma or paradharma karoge, so that is bhayava. It will cause very horrifying results. Okay. And if you open the other words, let's read that also. He says again same thing almost. He says श्रेयं स्वधर्मा विगुणा पराधर्मात् स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वभावान् नियत कर्म. अपने स्वभाव के हिसाब से नियत कर्म, एवरीडे कर्म करो अपने स्वभाव के हिसाब से, किसी और के हिसाब से नहीं. कुर्वन् नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्, so then you will escape the sinful reaction. So we should find our own potential. We should, with the help of proper guidance, especially in case of like teenagers or children, we can have learned people help us, explore, let them explore different things. What is their swabhav? What is their swadharma? What fuels their passion, their nature? What is more in concordance with their nature? Right? Don't just force them. जैसे इंडिया में हम force करते हैं कि आपको तो डॉक्टर ही बनना है, आपको तो इंजीनियर ही बनना है. But maybe that person has completely different skill, and if he became a doctor or some, he will probably fail big time, and then he will live his whole life thinking that I'm a failure. So this is the same thing जो Einstein बोल रहे हैं कि अगर आप fish को बोलोगे कि tree climb करे, तो she will live her whole life thinking that she is a failure. So this is something else about action. Understand your own nature, your swabhav, your swadharma. Okay, action. And let's see what the next topic is. Okay, this also about action. कई बार हम बोलते हैं कि हमारे पास बहुत सारी duties हैं. पहले हमने बोला था हमारे पास time नहीं है. अब हम बोलते हैं हमारे पास बहुत सारे काम हैं करने को. We have so many tasks, we have so many responsibilities, duties in life. How can I spend time on this wisdom? बहुत सारे actions करने हैं हमें दुनिया में. So Krishna has answered to that also. Krishna says, whatever you do, okay, he says, yad karoshi yadashnasi, yad juhoshi dadasi, yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tad purushva madarthunam. Everything that you do in your life, everything that you have in your life, you can make it spiritual. Okay, आपके पास सबके पास घर है, that घर can become a temple. आपके पास body है, that body can become a temple. आपके पास loved ones हैं, that can become devotees. आपके पास खाना है, that can become prasad. आपके पास काम है, work है जो आप रोज जाते हो, that work can become spiritualized and can actually be used to connect to Krishna. The work can become yoga, karma yoga, right? Because you offer the results to Krishna for that karma, and that becomes karma yoga. So everything can be spiritualized in our life. Everything, every single thing can be connected to Krishna in our lives, and it will immediately become spiritualized. जब भी कृष्णा को ऐड कर देंगे तो वो चीज मटेरियल से स्पिरिचुअल बन जाएगी. वो चीज योगा से वो चीज भोगा से योगा बन जाएगी. Okay, so it will free you. Same thing that was entangling you before, same thing that was a source of fear, anxiety, attachment, depression, will now become a source of liberation, freedom, and live in you, give you unlimited joy, happiness, profound happiness, deep happiness. So that is so too many responsibilities is not an excuse. कि मेरे पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. Arjun के पास भी बहुत responsibilities थी. He had a war to fight. So Krishna said, yes, you're a Kshatriya, you have a war to fight, but can you be like a devotee Kshatriya? Can you fight for me? Can you fight for my benefit? Because this is what I'm asking you to do. If you're a teacher, can you be like a spiritual teacher, which means like very grounded, humble person who's a devotee of Krishna. Can you be a spiritual doctor? Can you be a spiritual lawyer? Can you be, instead of just doing that task for money, for name, fame, popularity, all those things, can you do it in a sense of sacrifice? Can you do it as a sense of service? And immediately that, as soon as the intention behind the action changes, that same work will now become a spiritual work. It will become yoga.
Too many responsibilities को कैसे handle? Yes, someone has too many responsibilities.
देखो अर्जुन से ज्यादा तो नहीं होगी. तो कितनी वाइफ थी आपकी, तो एक ही वाइफ है.
ज्यादा वाइफ होगी तब रिस्पांसिबिलिटी समझ में आएगी क्या?
नहीं कि अगर वो टाइम निकाल सकता है. सो पहले तो हमने बोला कि जो भी है अपनी लाइफ में start connecting with that to Krishna. Okay, and then start making some time. अगर 10 मिनट निकाल सकते हैं शुरू में, 5 मिनट, आधा घंटा, whatever time you can spare. We have a lot of time actually. We're just always wasting a lot of time. Just scrolling पे, cricket देखने में, या बहुत सारी चीजों में अपना time waste करते हैं. So somewhere we can limit our time and spend on the spiritual aspects of our life. Then you will see that time is actually an energy of Krishna. Time, Krishna says, "Kalo asmi," time I am. Right. So as soon as you start making some time, the time will expand in your life. धीरे धीरे कृष्णा एक बार आपने ऐड कर दिया कृष्णा को, तो he keeps expanding himself in your life. So just start somewhere. Yes,
I have a question.
Yes.
Not from this. Not from action, but
yes, ma'am.
not from the action, but from the past. For God, actually, that has been consciously. I was thinking that you explained about ask God versus give God. So sometimes I do feel that when there are verses that go through on the internet or as you search, or sometimes in the Psalms, about in where you consider Jesus as the God and Lord. There is a Psalm, there is a verse that says that ask for it, it shall be given to you.
Yes.
So you are saying that we should not ask God, but whatever He has decided for you, that's the best for you. So how?
I got your question. So Mataji, for everything, okay, there are many levels of understanding. Okay, so for certain traditions, certain religions, okay, Vedic philosophy, Vedic understanding also has many levels of understanding. In Vedas also, there are these opportunities given where we can ask, like let's say you do some kind of worship, some kind of yagyas, human sacrifices, and your desire will be fulfilled. But this particular tendency is a lower tendency to ask God for something and just do this business dealing. Okay. Having said so, the higher is to just give, to just want the love of God, okay, and not anything materialistic. But even let's say you become a very advanced devotee, you have a problem in life. If you have to ask something, it's okay to ask Supreme Lord, just like a child. If something is going on, he's expected to come to his parent to ask, right? So you will go to your parent to ask. So if something is going on, you will ask your parent. But first of all, but still the higher principle is to establish a connection with the Lord and to want love of the Lord. Don't ask for small things. Try to curtail this tendency कि दिन में जो कुछ भी हो रहा है, कुछ ट्रैफिक जाम हो रहा है, भगवान प्लीज ये ट्रैफिक जाम हटा, मतलब हर चीज में भगवान को हर फालतू बात के लिए मांगने की जरूरत नहीं है. लेट्स स्टार्ट कटिंग डाउन ऑन दैट. ओके यस, कोई अगर कोई इलनेस है, कोई प्रॉब्लम है, कोई लॉस ऑफ लव्ड वन, somebody is suffering, something is going on, then let's ask, right? So धीरे धीरे let's start cutting back and asking for frivolous things that are just खासकर whimsical things. Okay, बेकार की चीजों के लिए.
मतलब कोई मिडिल लेयर मिडिल क्लास पर्सन है और बोलेंगे मुझे दुनिया में सबसे अमीर बनना है, फिर तो एकदम मांगना तो टॉप का मांगना
वही तो भगवान भी बहुत चालाक है, लेकिन he has a very great sense of humor actually. उसको मुझे कुछ कहानियां याद आ रही हैं, वो keep going for now, that's okay. But yes, Mataji, for everything there are different levels of understanding, especially in other religions. The provision is given. At least you are coming to an authority, to God or to God's representatives to ask for something. That is also a very high platform. But higher than that is to be unmotivated in your service to the Lord, to do not want anything for yourself. That is even a high platform. तो हम first class को और 12th class को compare नहीं कर सकते. तो first class की understanding वो हो सकती है, पर 12th class के बच्चे का जो मैथ्स है या जो उसकी साइंस की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है वो बहुत ज्यादा एडवांस अंडरस्टैंडिंग है.
Because Mataji उसमें ना emphasize करते हैं ask and it will be given to you. So
maybe
तो वो different
no, they say it will be given to you.
yes, but it will entangle you, right? If you ask for something, you got it, it will entangle. जैसे कि अगर कोई
एक बच्चा अगर पेरेंट्स से कुछ मांग रहा है, उसको हर चीज मिल जा रही है मांगने से, तो
जैसे कि उसने मांगा सिगरेट दो मुझे, अब वो क्या पेरेंट आपको सिगरेट देगा?
No, I'm not talking about any wrong or
No, but you don't know what is right for you. That is why we established this. What do we know what is right for us? We do not know our past, present, future. We do not know what we deserve. In our short-term understanding, we think this is right for you, but it may not be right for you. You think this is right for you, but Krishna's plans are even better for you because you're an eternal person. You have a very short. आपको तो सिर्फ इस लाइफ का इतना सा पता है जो अभी हो रहा है, वो भी बहुत ज्यादा बॉडीली अंडरस्टैंडिंग से. लेकिन कृष्णा को आपकी पास्ट लाइफ का और फ्यूचर लाइफ का भी पता है, वो उसके हिसाब से आपको देंगे. He will not just give you what you think is best for you. So आप जो अपने लिए मांग रहे हो, that is almost similar to asking for cigarettes from your parents, क्योंकि आपको पता ही नहीं कि आपके लिए क्या अच्छा है. जैसे बच्चे को नहीं पता, ऐसे ही हमको भी नहीं.
like parents decide
हाँ, तो वो हाई अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. पर अगर उसको सिगरेट भी मांगनी है तो किस पेरेंट के पास जाए, क्योंकि पेरेंट थप्पड़ मारेगा, और जब नेगेटिव रिएक्शन मिलेगा, जब प्रॉब्लम चांटा पड़ेगा, तो ये समझ आएगा ओ ये नहीं मांगना चाहिए, राइट? क्योंकि इसमें चांटा पड़ता है. तो अगर कुछ मांगना भी है तो डोंट गो टू लाइक बाहर के शॉपकीपर जैसे डेमीगॉड देवी देवता के पास. गो टू द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, बिकॉज़ सुप्रीम लॉर्ड इफ ही डजंट थिंक इट्स गुड फॉर यू, ही विल नॉट गिव यू.
His plans are best for your life.
Yes.
Whatever he.
तो हमने हर चीज में बहुत सारी लेयर्स ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. हम वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग दे रहे हैं जो क्योंकि कृष्णा ने दिया भगवत गीता में एज अ सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, है ना. तो अब जो दूसरे रिलीजन्स में, दूसरे ट्रेडिशन में, इवन वेदास के भी दूसरे चैप्टर्स में दी गई हैं, दोस आर लिटिल बिट ऑफ लोअर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. दैट इज व्हाई वी आर सेइंग वी डोंट हैव इनफ टाइम इन आवर ह्यूमन लाइफ टू एक्सप्लोर सो मेनी रिलीजन्स एंड ट्रेडिशंस एंड डिफरेंट स्क्रिप्चर्स. एको स्क्रिप्चर क्या था वो, एको शास्त्रम देवकी पुत्र गीतम. तो इसीलिए एक शास्त्र को पकड़ लो, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव टाइम टू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड अबाउट सो मेनी लेवल्स ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. हर अलग अलग कॉन्शियसनेस के लोगों के अलग अलग अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स हैं. Let's get to the topmost.
Even in Bhagavad Gita, there are different levels that are explained. So that's why you need somebody who understands it to guide you in this specific situation. Me and Prabhuji were talking the other day about Guru Sadhu Shastra, that all our healings need to be on the basis of Guru Sadhu Shastra. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is given that you can ask Krishna for everything, like that you need to ask.
Ask कर सकते हो, मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा उसके ऊपर है, क्योंकि he is the parent.
There's
Yeah, I was
talk
talking
about
about
demigods also.
biblical side. They say like that.
Abrahamic religions में, yes.
Biblical like
पर हमारे में भी ऐसा है, हम भी इसलिए बहुत सारे देवी देवता के लोग व्रत करते हैं and all these things,
16 सोमवार
right? So let's take quick question. Yes.
Not a question, but in a nutshell, out of this, like summary of this conversation, so we can ask up to our intelligence,
Right.
maximum of our intelligence.
Yes.
But God is the supreme intelligence, and He can give us based on our karma, our how much do we deserve?
Right.
But we might deserve more than what we are asking.
Exactly. He may give more. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, similar thing like इन्होंने बोला कि like हमें जो चाहिए वो मिलेगा कि नहीं वो भगवान करते हैं सही है डिसीजन पर वो भी सही है ना कि मुझे पता है कि मेरा लेवल कितना है पर उस मतलब मुझे पता है कि मैं इतना नहीं कर सकती हूँ हाँ पर मैं उससे ज्यादा सोचूंगी और मैं मेहनत करूंगी तो भगवान भी कभी सोच सकते हैं ना कि इसने इतनी मेहनत करी है मेरे लिए इतना पाने के लिए इतना ये कुछ कर रहा है उनको नहीं देना होगा भी तो दे सकते हैं ना वो
माता जी एक बात करते हैं, लेट्स रीग्रुप एक बार। हमारा अल्टीमेट गोल क्या है लाइफ का एज अ सोल? यहाँ पे रहना है या यहाँ से निकलना है?
रहना है पर भगवान
रहना क्यों है?
कुछ भी तो कर सकते हैं ना रहना है हमारा
Let's go back to the basics. तो कर्मा जल्दी खत्म करना है तो और कर्मा मत मांगते रहो और चीजें मत मांगते रहो क्योंकि that is adding to your karmic reactions. So we have this human form of life. This life we may not get until for many species after. ठीक है, हो सकता है कि millions of years लगे वापस human form में आने में। हमको इसी ह्यूमन फॉर्म में अपने एक सेकंड में फिनिश अपने कार्मिक रिएक्शंस फिनिश करने हैं। अगर आप और मांगते रहोगे तो आप उसको आप फंसते जा रहे हो आप एंटेंगल करते जा रहे हो क्योंकि आप दुनिया की चीजें मांगते जा रहे हो मुझे प्रमोशन चाहिए मुझे ये चाहिए तो आपको जब तक वो आप मांगते जा रहे हो आपकी इच्छाएं हैं वो फुलफिल भी हो रही है नहीं जो भी बट आपको इच्छाएं तो है इस दुनिया में रहने की और ग्रो करने की और फ्लरिश करने की तो आप इस दुनिया में आते जाओगे our goal is to get out of the cycle of birth and death. I'm coming to that point. So let's finish actually because many of your questions will get answered. Our goal is to get out of the cycle of birth and death. अगर ये गोल को सेंटर में रख के आप अपनी चीजें मांगोगे तो only thing that will liberate you from the cycle of birth and death is Krishna प्रेम, love for Krishna and service of Krishna. Don't ask for anything short term, anything body oriented, anything that you think is good for you, that will only entangle you. It will keep you here. कभी चूहा बन के, सांप बन के, कॉकरोच बन के, आदमी बन के, औरत बन के, कुछ ना कुछ बन के आते जाना पड़ेगा जब तक हम मांगते रहेंगे और ये डिजायर रहेंगे. So let's try to get rid of these desires. It's a slow process. It will happen.
तो आपने जो बोला कि जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं उनको इतने मार्क्स चाहिए होते वो नहीं मिलते और वो डेड हो जाती है तो मतलब वो सुसाइड करके मर जाते तो वो दोनों के रिलेशन क्या होते हैं मतलब भगवान तो बोलते कि तुझे जीना है तुझे मेहनत करके पास करना है पर वो सुसाइड कर लेता है तो उसका तो कर्म वहीं पे अटक गया ना
तो नहीं करना.
Let's
continue. Yeah, I think आपने मिस किया है. आप पीछे जाके सुनिए. So let's keep going. अभी थोड़ा. Okay, next understanding about the world. Okay, इसमें आपके हो सकता है बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं. दुनिया के बारे में हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या है? Our understanding is that we are here to enjoy this world. This world is at our disposal to exploit, to enjoy, to flourish, to grow, to do various things, right? But actually, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you can pull up that verse 8.15. He says, "Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalyam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata." So he says, this place is actually a place of a house of misery. Dukhalyam ashashvatam. This is everything is very temporary here, and everything is very miserable here. There will be difficulties at every step. There will be dangers at every step. So don't think you are here to enjoy. The better understanding of this world is that you are here to get purified, you are here to get reformed, you are here to transform your consciousness. You are here to not ask for unlimited things from Lord, you are here to develop love of God. This is the only purpose of this world. Otherwise, अगर आप यहाँ पे enjoy करने के लिए आए हो, मांगने के लिए आए हो, so your desires, all these things will keep getting frustrated. Over and over again, you will keep coming back, you will keep getting frustrated in those desires. You will keep coming across difficulties and dangers until all these desires, all this gets purified and you desire to go back to God. So the only purpose of this place is to purify yourself, to transform yourself. This is like a prison.
Are the desires put by the God?
No, that's your will. That's your free will.
Since then we have some desire that is put by
Desires are your own completely. This is the free will of the jiva. But desire is jivas. There is no debate. Desires are by our own, हमारी अपनी free will से आती है, from our own minute independence. So Krishna does not control our desire. We can desire to enjoy in this world, we can desire to go back to him, we can desire to love him, we can be conflicted, but desires are our own. And desires is what attracts.
And this is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It is
हाँ,
clearly
वो भी
mentioned in
आएगा.
Bhagavad Gita.
भगवान ने डिजायर्स बनाई क्यों?
भगवान ने
भगवान
नहीं
ने
बनाया.
बनाया ना.
but Mataji, sometimes it says that God put his thought in our mind. Somebody who
So Mataji, यही तो सारी गलतियां हम कर रहे हैं ना. That is, I think you also can relate. We are saying we are fixing the lies of this world that have been fed to you, fed to all of us by this world. Let's not go by what Bollywood teaches us. Let's not go by what other lower principles teach us. Let's go by what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So we are fixing all the lies, all the problems that are taught by, all the wrong formulas that are taught by this world. That now we are learning the correct formulas, the correct principles, the correct sutras that are given by Bhagavad Gita. All these other जो हमारे दिमाग में जो चीजें इधर उधर से सुन के जोड़ तोड़ के करी हैं, let's get rid of that stuff.
How long will it take us to read Bhagavad Gita in our classes? How much
Like
time?
3-4 years.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
So we can't answer everything in 1 hour.
But what we are trying to say is, all जो भी गलत चीजें हमने दुनिया से सीखी हैं, all the lies, let's kill that with the absolute truth mentioned in the pages of Bhagavad Gita. भगवद गीता में परम सत्य है और उससे आप दुनिया के झूठ को काट सकते हो. So desire हमारी है, we can choose. We always have the choice. We always have the choice to do one thing or the other. ठीक है? हम क्या choose करते हैं वो कृष्णा देखते हैं कि हम क्या choose करेंगे.
But everything is in Bhagavad Gita.
All of this is in
Yeah, all of this is in
I think
Bhagavad Gita.
desires पे भी आ रहा है. If we keep going, we will find it. Next.
Limited time. We have to end in
I will finish in 5 minutes, but let's keep going, and if you still have some questions, we will answer. You can also talk after the class. And we are reading Bhagavad Gita in our classes in very great detail on Sunday morning. So if you have more questions, if you think all your questions will not answered, which they will not be, your doubts will not be clear just in 1 hour session. This is a deep, profound wisdom, bottomless ocean. Okay, so start coming to those classes if you
We
really
have
want.
just finished second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, so we are still just in the starting. So feel free to join in those sessions. And they are at usually at 9 o'clock, 9 in the morning on
If
Sunday.
everybody's slide is desired. So, okay, so next, if you're surprised, if you think that we are here to enjoy, we will get happiness in this world, but Krishna says actually this is a place of misery, right? This is a place of dukkha, nityam, ashashikam. Nityam, asukham lokam. This is asukham lokam. And nityam means temporary. Everything here is temporary. Everything, the happiness that you get is very superficial, very short-lived. It's not very deep, okay? Whereas when you get engage in spiritual things, the happiness you get is eternal. It is ever increasing. Adi antavante konteya. Krishna says there is no beginning or no end to that happiness that you feel when you are spiritually engaged. Okay? And the happiness is very deep-seated. It's very profound. That's why once you start reading, once you start engaging in these activities, it's hard to go back to your normal life where you were just materially enjoying with your senses. तो just कुछ खा लेना, कुछ देख लेना, उससे जो enjoyment मिलती है, उससे कहीं ज़्यादा enjoyment है when you engage with the divine. Because he is unlimited. Whereas all these things of the world are very superficial, very limited. They entangle you. Krishna says that these things of this world are actually like nectar in the beginning, but poison in the end. Whereas spiritual activities होती हैं क्योंकि we don't have taste for them. They are like poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. So just give it some time. Just start. It may feel like poison in the beginning. The time cut out करना पड़ रहा है अपनी material engagement से sense gratification से. But give some time and you will see how to be nectarian in the end. So the enjoyment is very deep, very profound. Desires. So the desires, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we have to control our desires. They are made by our mind. Okay? हमारे दिमाग से आते हैं. Okay? There are 3 functions of mind. मैंने mind को cover नहीं किया है. Mind is a whole topic in Bhagavad Gita. Anger is a whole topic in Bhagavad Gita. Sense control is a whole topic in Bhagavad Gita. We are not covering. We are covering 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita. the values and virtues that Krishna wants us to cultivate is a whole topic of Bhagavad Gita. What food we should eat, how we should speak, how we should act with the body is also a topic in Bhagavad Gita. So imagine we are just covering like a little, spark of this huge flame that Bhagavad Gita is. So desires के बारे में कृष्णा बोलते हैं बहुत सारी desires आएंगी, okay? And the desires come based on your engagement with this world, okay? ये खा लो, ये पी लो, ये कर लो, या हो सकता है भगवान की सेवा की कुछ desires. Curtail those desires. Curtail मतलब restrict, refrain from indulging in every single desire. Don't engage every single desire. He gives an example. जैसे ocean है, ocean में बहुत सारी rivers enter करती हैं, but ocean शांत रहता है. आपको भी डेली बेसिस पे बहुत डिजायर, बहुत इच्छाएं आएंगी, ये भी कर लूं, वो कर लूं, ये बन जाऊं, वो कर जाऊं. Don't engage every single desire. Don't entertain every single desire that comes in your mind. Just entertain the ones that are good for you, for spiritual growth, for other people. Something that has a potential, something that will help you, or help in service of the Lord. Let's just engage those desires. Whatever material desires you have, try to engage those in service of Krishna. Somehow try to dovetail them, try to align them in the service of Krishna. तो डिजायर्स के जैसे एक मिर्जा गालिब का एक बहुत वो है फेमस वर्स है या श्लोक होती है, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमा मगर फिर भी कम निकले. तो हमारे अरमा बहुत आते ही जाएंगे, आते ही जाएंगे, आते ही जाएंगे. So we have to have ultimately only desire to engage everything in the service of the Lord and make our life as spiritual as possible, to cater more and more to the real self that we are. Okay, body को भी करना है, लेकिन don't forget the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Main thing is that we are the spirit soul, and बाकी की सारी चीजें should be feeding that main thing. They should be feeding that one particular principle, one particular goal of life, the ultimate purpose. जो छोटे धर्मा है वो बड़े धर्मा को फीड करनी चाहिए, वो फुलफिल करनी चाहिए. छोटे धर्मा से डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. So yes, can we go? I think this one or two more to go. This is about human life. I think you've understood that human life has, we have a lot of potential. We have intelligence, discrimination, right, judgment power. We have very acute senses, very sharp mind. So we should use all that in service. We should use that to get liberated, to get free from material entanglement. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम human life को कैसे use कर रहे हैं? फालतू की इच्छाएं, फालतू की thoughts, फालतू के emotions, फालतू की activities, right? We are getting more and more entangled. तो हम ultimately ये कह रहे हैं कि the purpose of you come back to the, इसलिए मैं माता जी बोल रही come back to the basics. The ultimate purpose of human life is to free yourself from the material entanglement, to get liberation, to get out of here, to go back to Godhead. उस purpose को बीच में रखते हुए बाकी की सारी चीजें करो. तो फिर आपको proper focus मिलेगा, clarity मिलेगी, otherwise you'll be confused. So आरती खत्म हो गया, काल के बारे में हो गया. So Krishna talks about the value of human life. Krishna talks about how you will be stuck in the cycle of birth and death if you don't use your human life responsibly. Can you go? Death के बारे में Krishna has talked a lot. Death के बारे में दुनिया से हमें क्या समझ आता है कि we should be very scared of it. It's a very horrifying situation. हम खत्म हो जाएंगे death पे, लेकिन क्या हम खत्म हो जाते हैं death पे? No, it is a conduit to enter into the next life, which may be an eternal. Now it is our choice whether we enter into another material life or we enter into eternal life. तो अगर हमें eternal life में जाना है, तो we have to live our life with ultimate purpose and center, ultimate goal in our vision. तो हम eternal life में जाएंगे, और अगर हमको इधर उधर की चीजें ये सब करना है दुनिया का, then we will find according to based on our desires, based on our actions in this life, we will get the next body. तो आपको जो करना था, जो इच्छाएं पूरी नहीं हुई, वो फिर नेक्स्ट बॉडी में जाके पूरी. ये लास्ट एक लाए है इस दुनिया का लाए. सब लोग बोलते हैं कि बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट है, बट कृष्णा बोलते हैं कि ये सब प्रोसेस जो भी हमने बताया, दिस इज एक्चुअली वेरी जॉयफुल, इट इज वेरी सिंपल. कृष्णा सेज, ही सेज राज विद्या राजगुह्यम पवित्रम इदमुत्तमं प्रत्यक्ष अवागमं धन्यं सुसुखं कर्तुम् अव्ययम्. When you do this, it will be सुसुखम, it will be very nice, it will be very joyful. This is the king of all knowledge. Raj Vidya, Raj Guru. This is the topmost secret I can give you. That if you practice this knowledge, if you apply this Gyan and make it Vidyan, This will be very simple, very joyful. It has been scientifically proven. This is a spiritual science, evidence based. So do it. It's not very difficult. And if you start doing all this, that's very difficult. If that plan is doing. But if you do some things for Krishna, Krishna makes it so easy. He's so amazing. He's like ready to lift mountains for you. So he will lift all these mountains for you. You think that it is a difficult time, but he will actually help. Everything will become seamless, easy, joyful, and fulfilled. Okay, I think that's all. I think that's all we have. Yes, that's all. Sorry, thank you.
So again, thank you for this. Again, this is a very short snippet, and I know it raises more questions than answers, and that is the idea. So if you want more answers, please join the regular classes where you can get more answers. We can also have some discussions afterwards. And again, the idea of Bhagavad Gita is that Nārangi started with saying is we have a lot of wrong beliefs about what Bhagavad Gita says. We have to get them clear. Actually, what is Bhagavad Gita saying? And sometimes we need some guidance for that. So we can try to guide what we know. Otherwise, we can connect you to people who know that.
Any last minute questions? Probably I know you requested this topic. Did that help some? So these are just to review. These are the take-home points. Make some time for this knowledge. Okay. Ask for help with your problems from spiritual superiors, spiritual authorities, not just anyone. Understand your real identity. Start operating from spiritual platform. Understand that you are a servant of Krishna. Bring service in the center and not selfish, self-centered view. Establish relationship with Krishna. Start offering everything to Krishna. And remember that this world will keep giving you difficulties, it's part and parcel of life. And there is a whole topic about how to deal with those difficulties. But remember that world is designed to give you difficulty. It is meant to purify. And we should have proper intention when we perform action. Don't worry so much about the result. Don't compete with others. They have their own journey going on. Okay? What is true success? The definition of success is not in the outcome, it is in the process. Okay, how diligently, how properly you do the process. And time is very limited in human life. We have to make full use of the human life, and we have to use it in such a way that the center of the human life is the real self, the ultimate goal. Keep that in center. Everything else caters to that. This is our
Next, we're going to thank you again from Satyamarji. The next thing we're going to do, today is a very auspicious day. So Prabhuji has invited Srimad Bhagavatam to their house. So Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna himself. In this holy month of Kartik, this is a very special month. It is very dear to Radharani. It is called Kartik month because one of the names of Radharani is Gita and Kartika, and this is a month very dear to her. A lot of festivals happen during this month, and one of the famous pastimes of Damodar Leela happens during this month. And one thing that we can do is offer lamb to the Lord in this month. It is recommended we do it every day, or at least whenever possible. And sometimes it's not physically possible, we can do it by the mind. Last 5 days of this month, the Kartik month, are called as Bhishma Pancha. So at least at that time, if possible, please offer lamb in those 5 days. And we will do a lamb offering today, so you can offer the lamb to the Lord and Srimad Bhagavatam today. Hare Krishna. Do we have a Yashoda picture? Do we have Yashoda?
Actually, आप कौन बता रही उन्होंने भी रियल वर्ड जो है वो बना के दिया ना हाँ बना कर वैसे इतना वो पिक्चर नहीं चला गिर जाएगा अच्छा क्या ये वाला अच्छा ठीक है ये प्रसाद यहाँ रख सकती हूँ ये वाला दीपक जलाना है ये बोला हाँ जी